So
All
listen,
right.
man. So 10, 2 cents and change the podcast. It's your boy Co McLean.
It's your boy Melly Mel.
You know,
You
man.
heard?
Episode 10 is in
Yeah.
effect. We
Yeah.
got game one. Game one, OKC versus the Minnesota Timberwolves is going down right now as we speak. They just going through all the little commentary. But before
Yeah.
we get
Yeah. Yeah.
started, who's your pick? OKC, and we're not going to say this series. We're going to say game one tonight. OKC and
Game one.
Minnesota.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Game one is just something in the air. Like we spoke about this earlier, but I'm not gonna lie. I feel like Shea Alexander, he want to show that he here. So I think
Okay.
I got OKC in game one.
OKC in game one.
Yeah, and they coming up to game seven. I think I think they're gonna punch Minnesota in the face. And
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna be like, all right, like, let's get it back. And then game two. But game one, I'm going with OKC.
All right, I'm gonna go the other way. I got Minnesota game one. I got Anthony Edwards having a game one statement game. He going for 30 plus tonight. You know why? Because
Okay.
Shea's the MVP. He's a young bull of the league. So Edwards is like, okay, I gotta bring. I don't really think in the past two series yet. We haven't seen an Anthony Edwards blowout game. And when I say blowout game, mean him coming
Like a
out like
signature
dogging
game.
you. Yeah, signature
Okay.
game. He didn't have one yet. So I think this game one, he gonna make a statement game with this game, and we're gonna see what our results are after tonight.
Okay. And like real quick before Emerald come on, let's touch on that. Have you been in tune with the Joey Badass versus TDE in the West Coast? You been in
Listen,
tune with it?
I just try to catch up with it
I
because you
sent you
sent me like what
links for the.
six? Yeah, you sent me like six of them.
Yeah.
I listened to
Yeah.
the Daylight joint, Daylight, where the awkward flow went crazy on that on Badass on that
Uh-huh.
one. The NBA Finals one
With
I
Joey.
listened to
Okay.
with
Uh-huh.
Joey on there. That was crazy. And
Uh-huh.
I didn't catch up the way I needed to catch up the way I know
Okay.
for
To
me
really dive
to.
into it.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
But musically, I'm musically inclined, so they ain't nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. I got we'll discuss it again once you catch up.
Okay.
But I ain't gonna lie. Like, Joey, he's coming quick. Daylight dropped like 3 tracks today.
Mhm.
He threw Lux on the track, but I will say, like, yo, New York, East Coast, where we at, man? They jumping my boy right now, man. Like, come on, where we at, man?
Jumping,
East Coast,
Joey. Yeah,
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 like everybody from TD,
yeah,
like, you got
yeah.
Reason, Ray Vaughn, Daylight, like, yo, East Coast, where we at? Like, he threw Lux on the track, but
Hmm.
come on, where we at? Where we at? Where we at?
Now
That's what I want to.
I want you to because you are more privy to it than I am. What is the backstory to that? Because I know I saw a
All right,
freestyle
the
when it was Big
backstory,
Sean, Joey
yeah.
Badass, and them boys on there.
Well, the backstory was it was a minute ago, a couple months ago.
Hmm.
Joey, he spit a joint and he had some bars for the West Coast and for Kendrick, like about basically about a lot of like just about the West Coast throwing little jabs,
Hmm.
and then from there, of course Kendrick ain't
Hmm.
respond, and then it kind of like others from the West Coast took aim at Joey.
Hmm.
So and that's kind of like the backstory. Like Joey threw some shots, and then it just kind of it's like it didn't like how it's in full effect now. It kind
Hmm.
of like slowly crept up to
Hmm.
this. Now it's like full fledged, you
Hmm.
know.
But like, what
So
started it? Who said what?
that's
Who?
what I'm saying. Joey said a couple bars like too much West Coast dick licking and like it was like a little freestyle joint he did. He just
Uh-huh.
had little jabs at the
Oh, at
coast and like
the
kind of like
coast.
towards
Hmm.
towards and then some towards Kendrick. Like that's was like the genesis, like the start of that.
Okay. All right.
Then it's like, but it didn't pop off like like how it's like it slowly like somebody dissed them, another person dissed them, then it was like chill. Then Joey came
Hmm.
back with the finals joint
Hmm.
and the freestyle with Ab. That's why the Ab Soul joint was like you see like they was each other face because it was like he had bars for them on that,
Hmm.
and Ab Soul is on
On
TDE from the
TDE.
West. He's
Hmm.
down with Kendrick, and so it was like kind of like yeah, I'm talking shit about y'all. What up? Type of
Right.
thing, and then it kind of like that kind of got it back up.
Right.
Like okay, and
Which
then the
which
last
is For hip hop, that's dope,
Yeah,
right? Because
this
it's
is the
like
second
y'all all
best thing since that Drake and Kendrick for sure.
and
The way they coming, yeah,
and because you're on a platform like that, which is viewed by thousands of people, and you go out and you say your joint,
yeah,
on that platform. Like, listen,
yeah,
I'm not backing down. But Ab came through like, whoa, whoa,
yeah,
whoa, hold on now, you ain't doing all that,
yeah, yeah,
So that's dope for
yeah,
hip hop,
yeah, for
and
sure.
it's crazy because look, you got Kendrick Lamar, he's sending his pups, not to call them
Yeah,
little guys, but
yeah,
Kendrick the
yeah,
big dog. So
yeah,
there's levels to this,
yeah, yeah. And with
Everybody
Daylight
under
being a
the
battle rapper too,
right.
it was like everybody was like, "Yo, Daylight." Joey came at you like about a week. You ain't say nothing, so they were like, "Yo, Daylight," and then Daylight answered the call. Like he came back ready, like how Kendrick was with Drake.
Mm-hmm,
Like he had the one track, then drop another. But Joey adding Lux on the track was fire.
mm-hmm.
That was fire,
I'm here.
unexpected.
I
So
was just
you know,
yeah, go
yeah.
ahead.
Now,
Uh-huh.
so Loaded Lux had the bars with Daylight, so that was fire. And Lux was good because they were supposed to battle.
Mm-hmm,
Loaded Lux and Daylight, they still supposed to battle. So
mm-hmm.
that's why it was like a little chess move. And Lux from Harlem,
Right.
so it was like, yo, they coming at me, yo, you running from Lux, and
Mm-hmm,
then Lux started going at Daylight.
mm-hmm,
You got yeah, it was dope. It's real. It's hip hop. I love it. But it's like, yo, that whole TDE, you know, they coming at them. You got other
mm-hmm.
East Coast, New York. Where we at, man? Like, come on. Like, where we at?
But
Like, they really going at them?
what we don't want is East and West Coast thing again. We
Nah,
don't
nah.
want that.
We way past that, and
Yeah.
and it's all lyrical though, so it's not even going like that. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And then another thing too is for the like you just had Absol, Big Sean, and Joey Badass together in one spot rapping.
Rapping. Right.
So it's like, and he's actually a bigger artist on that label than everybody. Absol is one of the original people on
Mm,
TDE. Kendrick, Schoolboy Q, Absol,
mm,
and J Rock. Those are the four pillars from the label.
mm.
So he was with one of the pillars. They was playing around. So it's like that's one. Like it's like it ain't nothing.
Right.
Everybody knows that
Right.
because they're in the same space on the same. That's like a track, and they basically rapping together.
Mm-hmm.
So we wait. It's been way too many years, and it's not the same energy. And it's all hip hop, and
Right.
they all hip hop. So that's why I'm like, yeah, I don't even think it would be nothing like that, honestly, because it's all fun and they rapping
Mm,
and they not talking no like, yeah, I'm gonna shoot you and you and getting personal where it's like, fuck your moms and your baby mother and your this. Nah, it's
right.
all
It's
bars. It's
bars.
all bars, and it's all hip
Mm-hmm.
hop, and that's what I like about it. It's competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Daylight's a battle rapper. I think Joey showing like I think he's surprised to be like, yo, he ready for
Mm-hmm.
battle. Because Joey Badass was not like that's not the type of rapper. Because I love Joey. I've been listening to him since the beginning of the time.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a battle rapper. It's like Kendrick.
Mm-hmm.
A perfect example. It's like when Kendrick coming at Drake battle ready. People like, yo,
Mm-hmm.
hold on, Kendrick. Hold on, Kendrick, get down like
Right.
that. And Kendrick's like, yo, like, cause like Daylight's a battle rapper, and he's like, yo, like, I'm from that.
Mm-hmm.
That's just not what I be on, but that's what I'm from.
Right.
And you know how New York is, and Joey, so it's like he probably on the same tip, like, yo, I'm not like that as far as like how my music is,
Mm-hmm.
but I could get like that. I think that's the fun part
Right.
about it,
Right.
So, and then Daylight's very lyrical. All these guys that's going at it is lyrical guys too. So that's another thing. It's not this bullshit. Oh, I'm tough.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I'm the hardest type. No,
Right.
we getting straight bars and they're attacking them. So
Mm-hmm.
it's been fun. I've been having fun all day listening to it. And my man, shout out to my man Kev. He be going in with the analysis
Mm-hmm.
and so. But it's been dope.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, this is what pure hip hop heads love.
Right.
It's fun. It's fun. It's something to look forward
Mm-hmm.
to. And it's got replay value.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot of people dissing though. It's not just Daylight and Joey. You got like I said, Ray-Ban, Reason, mad other little guys, So it's a lot of tracks to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And they having fun with the Diddy, because Joey said he was at Diddy parties, but not at none of that freak off stuff. So, they have a little fun with that.
Right.
And then I remember like Daylight used to have all the antics and he was butt out on stage.
Yeah,
talking about
he was
he a fuck
borderline.
Diddy and
Yeah.
all of that. So it's like, you know, all that little stuff. So
And
it's fun though.
it was crazy because in one of the songs with Loaded Lux, he was referring to that.
Yeah,
He was talking about that. But
yeah,
when you in that type of light and you do those type of
yeah,
things, you gotta
yeah,
expect people to come back and say something to you about it.
yeah,
You really can't diss the man because the man is just out there. He says what he says, he does what he
yeah,
does. So it's like you
yeah,
just gotta take that and spin it and make it funny or make it like, oh, that was crazy.
yeah,
Try to hype up
yeah,
the lines. But
yeah.
it's good for hip hop,
What
man.
you
It's
thought
good
about that
that
though? What you thought
huh?
about the track with Lux though? What you thought about that
I
track?
mean, Lux can rap, and that's the thing that follows a lot of battle rappers, right? Is like these guys can't make records or can't make songs.
Yeah,
I think these guys are debunking that song by song.
yeah,
DNA is coming out and
yeah,
he's monstrous with it.
yeah,
So at the end of the day, it's poetry, right? Because if you are able to be a poet, you could put that to in poetic form or in hip
yeah.
hop form, any shape or form that you able to be, because that's the God given
Alright,
talent that you have. So
alright, that's Young Mav talking. That's MCs talking right
yeah,
there.
know, you know. Hey, June 20th, Young Mav coming out of retirement. But I can't say Young Mav coming out of
Oh,
retirement.
where?
June
You,
20th.
you dropping a
No, no,
project?
no, no, no. No, I'm dropping a song called Face with my girl Lena Sky. I let
Okay.
you hear it. I let you hear it. That joint.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
had to.
Okay.
I had
Yeah.
to.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Damn. June 20th.
Yeah, June 20th. We're
That's
going
when it's
first day of
officially
summer.
dropping.
Yeah, yeah. First
Okay.
day of summer. We're gonna
Okay.
drop that. So
Okay. All right. All
man's
right. All right.
looking
That's
up
what's
in the
up.
sky.
That's what's
So
up. Everybody coming out of retirement.
mhm.
Bad lie. I like it. I
I
like it. Yeah.
I just had to
A good
see if I
energy.
first I had to see if I still had it, and I had to see if I could keep up with the younger generation. The way that they flow
Okay.
and
So
rap.
you,
So I had to go.
okay.
I had
Okay.
to really go in the studio, listen to her and how she rapping, because I can't use my old school. I can't use the flow I
Yeah.
want to use.
You gonna be sounding like Big Daddy Kane in the '90s,
Yeah,
like I'm like,
yeah,
yo, what
man.
the
Nigga might
fuck is
cut
this
this
nigga?
old head off.
Yeah,
So I had to
yeah. You
flow
had to
in a
get
way where I
you had
dumbed
to
it
get your Jim
down.
Jones on. You had to get your Jim Jones on.
Yeah, well, yeah, I had to dumb it down a lot.
Okay.
Bop, mop, sock, rock, drop.
Yeah, yeah,
I had
yeah,
to
yeah,
dumb it
yeah,
down.
yeah, yeah,
To cater to what's going
yeah,
out right now. But it's a dope
yeah,
song, man.
yeah,
Shout out to Lena
yeah,
Sky, man. Face
yeah,
June
yeah.
20th.
That's dope.
Face June
I
20th.
yeah, yeah. We all be looking out for
Face.
that for sure, for
Mhm.
sure. As though I had to just touch on it, but as because it is a lot to digest and get
Mhm.
into. So it's like once everything and smoke start clearing, we could really talk about
Oh,
it. But
absolutely.
back to the basketball.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Real big. I mean, I think this is good for the league.
Uh-huh.
But what a lot of the young guys, and we're gonna get a new champion,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a lot of young guys. So that's kind of like, like I was watching something earlier, and I like what he said. I forgot his name, but
Mm-hmm.
he was like, we gotta stop with the whole face of the NBA thing. Like you might say, who's like the next like it's a way he put it, like star or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, I agree, because if we being real, none of these guys will be the face of the NBA over LeBron or Steph Curry
Mm-hmm.
until they leave the game.
Right.
Like Jordan. It
Mm-hmm.
didn't matter how old Jordan was. You had young people. Shaq was young.
Mm-hmm.
You had Iverson's coming up. You had all these guys, but wasn't none of them the face of the league over Mike until Mike was
Mm-hmm.
gone and said, all right,
Right.
now who going to fill the void? And
Right.
I feel like it's the same thing with like a LeBron and Curry as far as the
Right.
face. Ain't nobody like stopping them or surpassing them
Mm-hmm.
and being the face of the league. Because it's like he said, it's a brand. It's like your brand. It's like Curry, LeBron still
Mm-hmm.
active. Ain't nobody bigger than them two.
Right. Currently.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And it won't be until they both leave.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be and if they announce they retiring, it'll be just like when Kobe left. A
Mm-hmm.
big thing, retire. You know what I mean? So it's like once they leave, then we'll see who will be the next face of
Right.
the NBA.
And
And at that point,
Mhm.
go ahead. You go
No,
ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
I'm gonna say, and at that point, Ant Edwards and a lot of these guys will be further along and have, he may be a champion if this season. Who knows? Have a lot more resume under him.
Mm-hmm.
Say, and just slip right in there.
Mm-hmm.
Shea, whoever. So I think that, like, yeah, but when it comes to face, I like how he put it, because that's how I felt. It's like face? How can somebody beat past a Steph Curry or LeBron as a face
Mhm.
or brand of the NBA?
Mhm.
Like, it's not
Right.
possible.
And I think when you are the face of the league, right? So let's look at Michael Jordan's time in the league,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And there was nobody that had a more global impact than
Yeah.
Michael Jordan. Besides the fact that he was winning championships, winning scoring titles, the aura, the sneakers, the
He was
everything that
in
came attached to
Michael
Mike.
Jackson videos.
Yeah, it was
He was
like,
all
bro,
over the
he's
damn place.
undoubtedly the face of the league, right?
Yes.
So then when you had LeBron James coming into the league, right, you still had the Kobe, who was kind of like the face of the league, even though he wasn't the most
You know what it was?
popular player.
The
Um,
the rape thing kind of took
yeah,
that
that took that
from
away,
him. Yeah.
right? But
The
if you
clean
look at
image.
But if you look at in Kobe's era, right, you got Kobe, Duncan, Ray Allen, Wade. Not Wade, but the Duncans, the Garnetts, the Ray Allens of the world. It was really like it was multiple people that was carrying the lead. It was
Iversons,
nobody. Iverson,
Vinces, T
Vince,
Max. There was a
T
lot of
Max,
guys.
a
Yeah.
lot of
A lot
guys.
of
So
guys.
that's what it is now until
Yeah.
somebody comes and have that mic effect,
Yeah.
right? Like even
Yeah.
when Magic Johnson and Larry Bird was the faces, they had the effect. It was winning chips. They had the
Yeah.
Converse and sneakers popping. It was
Yeah.
all on billboards, international. It was
Hmm.
undoubtedly they
The
were the face of the
MVPs.
league,
They was
right?
winning. Magic Johnson had a bunch. Larry Bird had
Mhm.
3. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now you can't really uh pinpoint it on one person because there's a whole bunch of stars. You got Luca, um you got Luca, you got Ant, you got Shy, you got Jokic,
I mean,
you
you got
got
Giannis's.
Giannis, so you got all these guys that didn't impact the league the way that Mike did. So you can't really say, or you can't really pinpoint just Tatum's the face of the league. Anthony Edwards the face of
Yeah.
the league.
Nah.
You got to get
Yeah.
these times to you got
Tatum.
to get these guys
Tatum
times to
don't.
develop.
He don't got enough appeal to be a face
Yeah,
though. Like some
yeah,
players, you're just good
right,
players, and that's all you really gonna. You're not gonna be the brand
right.
of the league. Like, some people, they
John
just have.
Moran, I
It's
forgot
like
about the John Morants of the world. You
he would
know,
never be this. No,
no, I
no.
mean he would
The
never, but
gun,
he's like
no,
one of those
no,
guys that's in
no,
that
no, no,
star
no,
caliber.
no,
Yeah, John
no,
Morant. I mean, because of the
no.
gun issues, but he
And
was
then
projecting to be
he
one of
was,
those
he was, but it.
guys.
You know what it is? He has to rebuild what he was transcending to.
Hmm.
His play was mediocre. Like, it's one thing if you killing and you
Hmm.
got in trouble. Like, we'll use Allen Iverson.
Hmm.
He had the issues with throwing his wife out naked, the
Hmm.
dance hanging out with the wrong crowd, but he was killing.
Hmm.
So it's like, Ja Morant's play
Hmm.
is
Hmm.
no. Like, he's took steps back. If I'm keeping it
Hmm.
1,000, like, aside from the gun stuff, it's like this season, Memphis was doing all right, and it looked like, but they nosedive,
Hmm.
and his play, then he gets hurt. Nah, he got to re-earn and rebuild himself.
Hmm.
Honestly, to me,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? In my opinion,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I just think that it's like now with so many young guys, young dudes, it's like you know like some of the stuff that he just tied in with it don't do him well,
Right.
in my opinion. You
Right.
know? And something else that was fire that I liked,
Hmm.
when Gilly and them was on Paul George podcast, letting him have it. That's one of the most realest
Wait.
things. He was letting him have it and getting on Embiid.
Who?
Yeah. Gilly
Gilly?
the kid. And
Oh,
Wallow,
he was
yeah. Was
getting
like,
on. He was on
dude,
Paul Pierce podcast.
Paul George
Oh, Paul George
podcast.
podcast. Okay.
And
Okay.
told him like, yo, you better kill next season. They
Hmm.
tied of Embiid. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, it's just a lot of things like,
Hmm.
like people just got to be accountable,
Yeah.
man. And honestly, I feel like I was looking at a stat, it's not the same, but and I heard it before.
Hmm.
Like, you got Kobe's and Michael Jordan playing in the second three-peat. He played every game.
Every game. Every
You know?
game. You saw the stat. Yeah, that be posted on
Yeah,
the page.
Kobe
Yeah.
Bryant
Hmm.
played, like until he was actually really like hurt for real.
Hmm.
Like, It's like, it's just, I don't know, man. Like, it just, a lot of things, it just seem like people don't care as much.
I
And
mean,
then,
to that point, right? Um, it's back in the days. Obviously, the game has changed tremendously from '90s, 2000s to the two twenties, right? So the game changed drastically, and now it's more player empowerment than actual team empowerment, right? We
yeah,
see that with
yeah,
these guys dictating where they want to go. So it's like, can you it goes both ways. As a player, can you fault a player if he maybe has an ailment that he may not want to play through because it can hinder him later on in his after basketball life or later on down the line? Like
uh-huh,
case in point, you look at Eric Gordon, who played through that injury in the semifinals. He absolutely stunk it up. He should have just sat out.
yeah,
He should have just sat out.
yeah,
He was
yeah,
hobbling out. He was no good.
yep,
But you want to be there for your team and you want to play. You could
yeah,
have just sat out.
yeah.
So I think
You
it
actually
goes
hurt the
both
team more
ways.
playing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it goes both ways.
yeah,
As a fan, you buy a ticket, you want to go see your favorite player play.
yeah,
And your favorite player is like, listen, I'm not going to play through this ailment, man, because, I may have a banged up big toe, but if I keep running around in this big toe, I could potentially make it worse. And you, as a fan, you're
yeah,
like, a big toe? Come on,
yeah,
just give a shot and get out there.
yeah,
So
yeah,
now players are
yeah,
really like, yo, I got to worry about my future as opposed
yeah,
to right now.
yeah,
So it goes both ways. As a
yeah.
fan, you
And to
upset
that
as
point,
hell.
I got a point. And something I think none of us realize. Like, to your point, I was watching YouTube earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you know how when you let a video finish playing, another one come on.
Mm-hmm.
So I was watching a Toronto Raptors documentary came on, right?
Uh-huh.
About the year when they won the
Uh-huh.
chip, and they was talking about the season and Kawhi Leonard and all that, right? So we
Mm-hmm.
got to the playoffs. I never knew this, and let me know if you knew it or not.
Mm-hmm.
It was against Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, Kawhi Leonard knee was acting up. They
Mm-hmm.
got an MRI and they left it up to him to play. He's like, I'm playing.
Mm-hmm.
He played through knee injuries when they won the chip. I never
Mm-hmm.
knew that. And
Mm-hmm.
they left it up to him. And he said, I'm playing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guarding Giannis
Mm-hmm.
and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's stuff like that about Kawhi Leonard that don't get praised and documented and blown up.
Right.
Like, he was having knee ailments, got the
Mm-hmm.
MRI, and they're like, yo, what you want to do? He's
Mm-hmm.
like, yo, I'm playing.
Mm-hmm.
And
But to add on to that point, he played, right? And then look what happened to him on the ladder, right? He
I'm saying, this is what
had,
I'm saying, though.
yeah,
And that's why I said what you were saying,
uh-huh,
it fell in line with it.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
But people always act like he just be sitting out. But it's like, yo, maybe him playing through
mm-hmm,
then, even though they got the chip.
mm-hmm.
But who's to say what damage it
What
possibly
damage
did
he
to
did,
him
right?
playing through it?
Mm-hmm,
They got the chip. But it's like, that's why it fell in line with everything you were
right.
saying. You
Even
know?
with currently with Jalen Brown playing through the meniscus tear that we
Yeah,
and come to find out now that
yeah,
so like, can that possibly have hinder him going into next season because you playing through that tear,
yeah.
right? Because I look at it this too, because you look at Steph Curry, who had a grade 1 hamstring strain. You
Uh-huh.
had Eric Gordon with a grade 2 hamstring strain, and he played, right? So that goes to show, like, Steph Curry's like, hey, hold on now. He could
Yeah,
have played. He had a grade 1. He could have played. But he was like, you know what? Let me get the proper rest. Let me chill. Let me listen to
yeah.
my doctors. Hopefully I could win one more game. I could potentially come back. Eric Gordon said, nope, this is game 7. I'm playing. Give me some shots. And I'm out there. But he hurt his team doing
He
that. He was
did. He did.
no
And I knew
good.
it. The type,
No
remember,
good.
we talked about it before, and I'm like, the type of player he is,
Yeah.
I'm like, nah. It don't
Yeah.
make, I was talking to AJ about it too. I was
Mm.
like, yo, he need to sit down.
Yes.
Because sometimes it's like, if you a scorer, like if Kobe was hurt, him just being out there, you got to alter your defense.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Gordon is not that type of player.
Right.
They need you to hustle, be up and down, be aggressive, get rebounds.
Yeah.
If you're not doing that,
Sit your ass
you got to sit down.
down. I'm watching the game. I'm like,
Yeah,
what
he
is this
was
guy?
limping
Limping.
like crazy.
They was killing him on back doors the whole
Yeah,
game. I'm like,
yeah.
yo,
It got
coach,
out of,
take
it got
him
out of
out.
hand. It
It
got
got
out
out
of
of
hand.
hand. Take him
Yeah,
out.
it
They was
got out of
literally
hand.
just running backdoor plays on Eric Gordon the whole game.
Yeah.
He couldn't keep up. I'm
Yep.
like, yo, at one point, can you be like, all right, coach, or you as a player know within yourself, yo,
Yeah.
I'm hurting
Like
my
I'm hurting the
team.
team.
I got to
Yeah.
get
Let
up
me
out
sit
of here.
down.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like
Yes.
you being there
Yes.
trying to be this valiant person, you
Yeah.
just killed your team from going to the
Yes.
next round. It was because
Yes.
of you, Eric Gordon.
Yep.
So
And they
you got
started
to take that
out
respect.
good. And I think that they started looking like, yo, hold on, wait. He's limping. We're gonna start going
Going
at him.
at him. Yes. And that's what they
Yeah.
did. Going at him,
Yeah.
man. So
Yeah. Definitely.
we got game one of the conference finals Wednesday, Boston Celtics, New York
No. No. No.
Knicks.
No. You said what's the
Oh, I'm
Indiana Pacers,
sorry,
Knicks.
Indiana Pacers and New York Knicks. I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
was so gun ho on
Yeah.
Boston, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
It's all good. It's all good.
Indiana Pacers and New York Knicks game one Wednesday. We're going to doing game one predictions, because this one is going to come out before the game will happen. So
Yeah.
this is the big predictions right here. So game one, who you got, Indiana or New York Knicks? And mind you, Knicks got home court advantage.
Yeah. The reason I got the Knicks game one, and I'm gonna explain why. Because I saw something with Brunson was like they asked him, he's like, yeah, he kind of mad about losing to them last year.
Yeah,
So
they had an
so
interview about it. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm like, okay, Brunson, he, all right. I think we're gonna get a Brunson performance in game one. Get the city hype. You
Uh-huh.
know, I'm taking Knicks game one.
Knicks
I'm
game
taking
one.
Knicks game one. Yeah,
Okay. And this series I believe is going to go to 7. It's a great series because you got it's a lot of variables in this series. One, like you
yeah.
said, Brunson, OG Anunoby was out. He came back, I think, in Game 7. When they played
On
them
some
last
Aaron
year,
Gordon shit.
Aaron Gordon
He's
joined.
like, yo, sit down,
Brunson
sit
was
shit
out.
down.
Hart
Yeah.
was injured, so they didn't have their full team. And that Pacers team,
And there was
you
no
know,
Mikal Bridges or
no
Cat on the Knicks last year.
Mikal Bridges a cat, and they went to a game 7. Might I add?
Yeah.
So Knicks got something to prove in this series
Yeah.
against Indiana Pacers that hey,
Yes.
we fully squatted up. Let's get it. On the flip side, you have Halliburton, who again, as we all know, has been voted by his peers as the most overrated player in the
Yeah.
league.
Bugging.
So
He
he
bugging. Bugging.
definitely has
He
a
was
chip
bugging.
on his shoulder. And
Yeah.
the Pacers team in whole is like, okay, yeah, we beat y'all last year, but we want to show y'all that last year was not a fluke, that we could beat y'all with y'all full roster. So this is going to be interesting. I'm going to go game 1, New York, Madison Square Garden. And I hate the Knicks, by the way. Let me put that on record.
We
I
know
cannot
that. We
stand the
know that.
Knicks.
Yeah, we know
Okay.
that.
But I'm just a realist. When I have any discussions on any topic, I take my bias out of it and I give my unbiased opinion. Game 1, I will have to give it to New York because of just the atmosphere. They was able to close out Boston in game 6 and keep that home court advantage and stay in New York because Thibodeau be running them boys to the ground. So they got time to rest. I know they needed that rest. So
Yeah.
game 1 coming out, and because Indiana got rid of Cleveland quickly, they had that kind of rust layoff. So that's going to play a factor. So I got New York winning this game as well. Game 1, New York Knicks. That's my 2 cents and change in that prediction. So yeah, shout out to Brunson, man. And we was talking earlier about Brunson, being the left-handed magician that he is. So
Yeah.
we was talking
We get
like,
into the
yo,
left-handed discussion. The left-handed players.
we about to get in now. What you said?
Yeah, let's get it. The
Yeah,
left-handers? Yeah.
the left-handers. So I was saying on record, like, and I talked about it before, like if you look at left-handed players in NBA history,
Yeah.
there has really been none that was like really a slouch. So I have a list here. So I was like, I gotta keep my
Yeah.
stuff intact. So I got a
Okay.
list. So we're gonna go through a list, and this is 50. And while I go through them, we're gonna, we could chime in between and
Okay.
and give our 2 cents on that. So we got
Okay.
Phil Jackson. Yeah, I didn't even know he was a lefty, bro.
I didn't know he was a
I
lefty
didn't.
either.
So Phil Jackson, like he wasn't no slouch in there. I mean, he wasn't no star player,
Yeah.
right?
He was
But
a role player on them Knicks teams
r-
that won the chips.
run chips, right? So and Phil
Yeah.
Jackson he wasn't a scrub. He wasn't a guy that got no minutes when he was in there. He did his little 1-2 thing, right? Phil Jackson. We got Katino
Ooh,
Mobley.
ooh,
Katino,
Cat. Cat
You
was nice. Yeah,
nasty,
Cat was nice.
nasty left-hander.
And he used to average a dub too. Couple years
Yes,
on Houston.
and then on Clippers doing this thing. The
Yeah.
guy that's in the playoffs right now, conference finals, Randolph. Julius Randle, my
Yeah.
bad. Julius Randle,
Julius Randle. Oh
lefty.
yeah.
He ain't no slouch. Then we
Nah.
got Johnny Green. I don't know too much about
Amen.
him. So we're going. But he played for the New York Knicks, though.
Okay.
Surprisingly enough, played for the New York Knicks. I like this one. Thaddeus Young. He wasn't no scrub.
I didn't realize he was a lefty.
Lefty.
Okay, yeah.
Thaddeus Young.
Yeah.
He on Atlanta days and Nets days. He did his thing.
Yeah, Thaddeus Young could hoop. Yeah. Yeah.
Ray LaFrance. Maybe.
Oh, remember Ray LaFrance?
Ray LaFrance.
I remember him.
He probably
He's a cool big
borderline.
man.
Yeah.
He's a cool big man.
He a cool big man.
Cool big
lefty.
Man.
Lefty.
Yeah, cool big man.
Tristan Thompson. I'm gonna say he wasn't a slouch. On them Cleveland days when they was doing this thing, he was a key. He was a starter and a key rebounder on that team. Offensively, no. We know Tristan Thompson.
Next guy.
But
I ain't wasting no time on it. Next guy.
Josh Smith. Yeah.
Hooper.
Yeah. Hooper. Lefty.
Yes, sir.
Killing. Josh
Yes,
Smith.
sir. Yes,
You gonna
sir.
like
Highlight
this one. Mickey Mouse. Who that?
Damon
Mighty Mouse.
No, Mighty Mouse.
Mighty
Damon
Mouse.
Stoudemire.
Damon
Damon
Stoudemire. Lefty.
Oh, yeah. That's my dog, too. Shout out to Damon. That's my dog.
Greg Monroe. He wasn't a slouch.
Nah, he's solid.
He's solid.
Big.
Greg
solid big.
Monroe.
Shout out to Damon Stoudemire, though. He don't get enough credit. Show love to Damon Stoudemire.
Shout out to Mighty Mouse Damon. He used to if you don't know who Damon Stoudemire is, just check YouTube and check Damon Stoudemire highlights.
Yeah, he got really filthy in Toronto. He chilled out a little bit on Blazers because it was a better squad, but still got busy.
Yeah. On Portland, Portland, he was that guy. Sam Perkins, Sam Big Perk, Sam Perkins.
Played with Mike in them
Indiana days. Yeah.
Indiana, Seattle days.
Yes.
All that. Yeah.
Sam Perkins wasn't no slouch.
Nah.
You got Chris Gatlin, unsung player. Chris Gatlin played on the Mavericks.
Yeah.
He wasn't no slouchy lefty either.
Nah.
Derek Fisher, Big Fish.
Show love to Deep Fish.
Show
love to Deep Fish.
Oh, you're gonna like this one. He's current. De'Aaron Fox, lefty, speedy.
I ain't even realize he was a lefty. Damn. Okay, yeah. Shout out to De'Aaron Fox.
We talked about this one. Brandon Jennings.
Salute.
Talked about him.
BJ. Salute to BJ. Definite.
I like this one too. Avery Johnson. Big Avery.
Yeah. Avery Johnson.
Big Avery.
The general. The general. Goran
Dragic. He was
nice. He was
nice.
He was nice with it, for sure.
He's still here, so he is or whatever.
Yeah.
My man, there's a lot of New York Knicks on here. Mace Face. Rest his soul, man. Anthony Mason. Anthony Mason. He used to kill him. That little lefty shot. He was killing him with that.
Big Mace.
Big Mace.
Sure.
Shout out to Mason. Biggie, I got a story to tell.
R.I.P.
That was
R.I.P. Big Mace.
That was Anthony Mason in that when Biggie got a story to tell. that was Anthony Mason.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mason. A current player right now, DeMontis Sabonis. From Indiana, former Indiana Pacer, right now on the Sacramento
King. Yeah, shout out to Sabonis. Runs in the family.
Forgot about him. David Lee.
Oh,
lefty.
Oh yeah, shout out to David Lee. Lefty, okay, David. Lefty. I know he can use both hands too. That's why I know sometimes it threw people off because he was ambidextrous.
Yeah, that's right. My man from the Chicago Bulls, number 7.
Tony Kukoc.
Oh
yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
The lefty Croatian.
Yeah, Tony Kukoc, man.
Oh.
Salute.
Oh. D'Angelo Russell, lefty.
Okay, yeah. D'Angelo Russell. All right.
We just talked about this earlier. Mike Conley, lefty.
Oh, yeah.
Nick the Quick Van Exel, lefty.
Oh.
Lefty.
Nick the Quick. You forget about it. He was nasty.
Denver days nasty on Denver when he was on Denver.
On the Lakers, it was nasty too.
It was nasty too, but Denver, they go Ant. They go Ant. But on Lakers, Denver too. Let me chime him in so we can get him up in there.
Yeah.
Get him up in there. All right, the next one. Left rat, Kenny Anderson. Woo! Kenny Anderson, no slouch at all. We know how he gets busy.
Yeah,
Lefty,
legend. Legend.
lefty. Mark
Legend.
Eaton, oh, big man, lefty. We're going to keep it at that. Jalen
Oh,
Rose.
oh, I forgot about Jalen Rose.
Lefty.
Oh, Jalen Rose.
Jalen Rose.
That was my dog, too. That was my
Lefty.
dog. That was
Oh,
my
I like
dog.
this one too. Former All-Star, Michael Redd.
Yeah,
Lefty.
yeah.
Lefty.
Michael
Oh,
Redd got busy.
Tyshawn Prince. Lefty. Don't
Salute.
forget about him.
Salute.
Oh, Big Zebo.
I'm like, where's
Zach
Zebo at?
Randolph.
I was waiting, like, where's Zebo at? Oh, yeah.
Lefty. DeAndre Jordan. Lefty. His most iconic one with Chris Paul.
Next,
I mean,
man.
he got a highlight. Got a highlight in there.
Next.
Lamar Odom.
There we go.
Lefty.
Okay. Let's
Lefty.
get to.
I like this one. Derek DC Coleman.
Oh,
Lefty.
DC.
Lefty. We're going to skip by that one. Your man, you know I'm about to say, little short guy from Celtics.
IT4. You heard?
Number 4.
You heard?
Lefty.
IT4. Let's go. Yeah, that was everybody who know me, that was my dog.
Oh, this guy.
Wow, who? Your face just changed. You got it. Who was it?
Ben Simmons.
Next.
Yeah, we're going next that one.
We next to anything with Ben Simmons. Next.
Old school Nick. Got a lot of Knicks on here. Willis Reed.
Okay.
Lefty.
Okay.
Lefty. Willis Reed. Uh-oh. Mr. Euro himself from the Spurs.
Ginobili. What you say, Mr. Euro?
Ginobili. Mr. Euro himself. Hold on, Ant. I'm trying to get you in. Hold on. All right. Mr. Euro himself. Dave Cowens. Okay. Lefty. What up, Ant? Hold on. We got 10 more. We going through the lefties of the league. The lefties. All right. I know you know a couple. We can't hear you.
I can't even see it.
And you might got to get off and come back on because you can't. My bro can't see you and I can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear us. Yeah, I can't hear you. Just log on. Yeah, there you go. He come back on. Chris Mullin, lefty.
Yeah, I'm like the Don, Brooklyn. Where we at?
Okay,
Brooklyn.
We're gonna skip by him. We're gonna skip by him too. Oh, Lenny Wilkins.
Okay.
Lefty.
I ain't know that.
Lefty.
Brooklyn, that's another Brooklyn dude too, by the way. Lenny Wilkins is Brooklyn.
Yes, okay, all day. Chris Bosh. Lefty.
Oh, I forgot about
We know how Chris Bosh give it up.
Yeah,
Artis Gilmore. Lefty.
Okay.
Mr. Gilmore. Nate Archibald. Tiny Archibald. Lefty.
Yeah,
Bob
okay.
Lanier. Lefty.
Okay.
Big David Robb.
Oh, yeah.
Lefty.
Yeah, D-Rob.
Lefty.
D-Rob.
The most notable unsung lefty, James Harden.
Oh. Shit. Yo, that's crazy.
James Harden.
Salute to James Harden.
I got you.
How do you gonna make this list and don't mention Brunson though?
And the last one on this list, Bill Russell.
How did they mention Brunson though?
That's because this list.
I'm tapped in.
There we go. You in there?
I'm in there.
You can see him now?
My breath.
I can't see him, but I hear him though.
You got power saving mode on, Ant?
No, man. People just can you see me?
I can see you, Ant, but my bro can't see you.
Hey, brother. You know I love you.
Yeah.
Hey, get your shit together. Get your shit together over there. Stop playing.
Hey,
we good.
We was going.
Everybody locked in.
You can see me though, bro, right?
You see me?
You can see me though, bro, right?
Yeah,
I can see you. Yeah.
Okay, we good.
Yeah, we good.
Everything good. But we were just going through. We went through like the 50 left-handed players in the NBA. Obviously, Jalen Brunson wasn't in there. They got to update this list because I was telling bro, like, yo, there's really in the league that came through the league. If you're a left-handed player in the league, like They all gave you business.
I was,
Whether you
I
was a
was
big man,
right. I'm listening.
they all gave you the business on that left hand side. You know, we went through some notables, Big Zebo, you know, David Robb, Brandon Jennings. You know, we just going through the list. Chris Mullins of the world, Ginobili's, Mr. Euro himself. It was a lot of left-handed players that's in the league that we just giving shout out to the lefties of the league. You know,
Yeah.
that will give you buckets. I want to ask you, Ant, who was the left-handed in the league that gave you the most points?
Well, bro, I ain't
Left-handed.
gonna lie, bro. One of the guys, Tony Kukoc.
Tony, we just
You
talked
have to
about
play him.
Tony, Big Seven.
And I never played against Tony Kukoc, but y'all left him out. That's crazy.
No, no,
No, he
Tony
was in there.
Kukoc was
No,
in there.
we mentioned
Y'all
him. Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
put
in
Tony
there.
Kukoc in there?
He
yeah,
was
we
in
went
Yeah,
through
Tony
there.
50. We
Yeah,
Kukoc
went
was
through
we
crazy
went
50
through
of
too,
them.
though.
50. Yeah,
Yeah, we
we
went
went
through
through 50.
50 of them. He was
Yeah,
in there.
Tony
he was definitely in
Kukoc.
there.
It's
Definitely
Um,
was
it.
in there.
I actually played against Ginobili, Manu
Uh huh.
Ginobili. That was a different situation. That
Yeah.
was like, I'm not saying he was as good as Kobe, but like how to figure him out, how to guard him, 6'6", can shoot threes, Euro step.
Crazy.
We didn't understand none of that. Like that
Uh
was
huh.
different for me.
Uh
I
huh.
was like, man, manager. If you ask me, we talked about it before, of course, but yeah, D Wade was ours, but D Wade studied that shit.
Nah, but
But
D
he's
Wade's a
right,
righty. We talking
but
lefties,
he's
Ant.
more. No, I'm just saying. I'm just giving you backstory. He
Okay.
was Euro step, right hand, more athletic. D
Mm-hmm.
Wade.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, it was Manu Ginobili, left handed.
So, do you say that Manu Ginobili in the league gave you the most problems as a left-hander? Manu
Absolutely. I hated
Ginobili.
guarding him. And he talked shit and he played a little bit dirty. You know what I'm saying? He used to have to elbow this nigga, man. No, but I loved it.
Yo,
I think he was so cool. Like when he was older, he was always like, man, you gonna play in the league a long time. Cause I
Mm-hmm.
had to see that like as soon as I came in the league. And they
Uh-huh.
was like on a run with the spread. Tim Duncan,
Mm-hmm.
Tony Parker, and these guys. I mean, these guys, they right there. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? It was a different league then.
Yeah.
You feel me? Than it is now.
Way
You feel me?
yeah,
differently.
yeah.
Way different.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I got a
Absolutely.
question. Like, so those is bigger guys. So did you play? You played against Isaiah Thomas, the short one, right?
Hell yeah. That's my little bro. I love him.
Okay,
That's my bro.
yeah, that was
He actually
that
like
was
my
a,
age now.
that was one of my favorite players right there. So I wanted to ask you, how was it guarding him because he's smaller, lefty?
Bro, I got a story about that. We
Yeah,
went 7
I'm here
games
for
with
it.
them. This
I'm
is when
here
he
for
was
it.
actually. No, I'm just some real shit. He averaged like he averaged like he averaged like 30 that year.
Mm.
They was the
Okay,
number
yeah,
one seed.
on the Celtics. Okay,
Yeah. They was the number one seed. I had just got traded to Chicago. I didn't want to be there. No disrespect. I was with Jimmy Butler, Rajon Rondo. I was with um, Dwayne Wade. I was with the
oh
guys
yeah,
like, yeah. And this is the year that Rajon basically changed the whole offense in the middle of the playoffs, and I was like, "What the fuck?" He was like, "Nah, I'm changing it. We're gonna win."
Uh-huh.
And he wanted to win
Wait,
because
who's
he
the
was
coach
playing against his
at that
stuff.
time?
Shit. Tim, not Tim. It was the white guy. I don't remember his name. And I
Uh-huh.
rock with him. I ain't gonna lie. It was just so long ago. But
I'm gonna look it up. But go
yeah,
ahead.
look it
Was it
up.
Tim
Yeah,
Bradley?
do your
Not Tim
research,
Bradley.
bro.
Huh?
Do your
I'm
research.
doing it right now.
No, but this is crazy. Like in the middle of a game, we basically just ran the triangle offense.
Fred Hoiberg.
Fred Hoiberg, I rock with him, and we ran like a triangle offense, and they couldn't figure that out.
Mm,
And that was because of Rajon.
mm.
Rajon was like, I want to get everybody involved. So we had Nikola Mokic on the
Yeah,
other
the
side,
shooter.
coming off pin
Hmm.
screens, Robin Lopez, and I might be one of the only people that played with like twins. I played with Brooke Lopez and Robin Lopez. So they coming off
Yeah.
screens on the other side. We got the triangle, Rajon up top,
Mm-hmm.
and D Wade coming off a screen, or I'm in the corner, and then Jimmy is at the elbow. And I like actually, want to do shit like that with my AU team.
Mm-hmm.
It's based off like Rajon. No, I don't know how Rajon Rondo is not a head coach in the
He probably
NBA.
will be one day.
No,
His
he
mind is great.
definitely should be, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because he went 7 games as the eighth seed of Chicago.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And he did that. And I was in there, I'm like, man, I'm wide open every time. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna miss a shot wide open.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? And he was like that. And he always been like that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I'm
saying? But
looking at
as a
this
team,
squad. I mean, on paper, you got Wade, you had obviously Rajon Rondo, you had Cameron Payne on there, Doug McDermott, like you said, Nikola Mirotic,
yep.
Jerry and
No,
Grant, Taj
Doug wasn't
Gibson,
there. Yeah,
Butler,
Doug
yeah,
wasn't.
Carter Williams, like you got
Yeah,
little.
Mark Carl Williams, but Doug wasn't. Doug McDermott wasn't with us. I love him. He's a shooter. I love all
Mm-hmm.
the shooters.
Mm-hmm.
But, did a great job, man. But yeah,
Yeah,
we
that
had
Bulls team was,
we're
even
good.
though how was
Yeah,
Wade? How was Wade? Because obviously that was like the latter
That
time of his career. Because
was
that
the
was
first year he
after,
left Miami.
yeah,
The first year he left Miami.
Miami. Yeah, how was Wade during that tenure? Because I know that was
man.
his hometown. How was that aura with Wade over there in Chicago?
Now I was dope, bro. Because I mean, it wasn't like a personal dope friendship or nothing, but like to
Mm-hmm.
play with a first ballot Hall of Fame
Mm-hmm.
guy, see his work. Like at that point in his career, it was like, D Wade already gonna have like his own like his regimen and everything he did.
Mm-hmm.
And I took a lot from that, even at kind of the end of my career.
Mm-hmm.
But hell yeah, D Wade was was like that in terms of that. And then when we made that playoff run, you get to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, a lot of that and Jimmy was not even he was like entering his prime at
Yeah, he
that
wasn't
time.
Jimmy Buckets yet.
Yeah, he wasn't really in his prime at that point. But now you see what he is, but he was that then.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy didn't give a fuck. Jimmy a different dude, bro.
Mm-hmm.
A
Is
lot of people beside each other. I swear to God, bro. But like to see what he doing, I already understand. Like Jimmy, respect. We had the same financial advisor, all this shit. So I always used to be around him and
mm-hmm.
have conversations with him, and still to this day.
Mm-hmm.
But he was just different. He
Mm-hmm.
was the leader, So when he left, I was like, all that shit they're gonna have to figure this out
Mm-hmm.
in Chicago, you know. And he did a great job. And D Wade is a Hall of Famer, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I respect them, all of them. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And that's what it is.
Hey, and I'm looking at your career highs, man. Career high in steals, 6, right? What game was that? Which game was that?
I have no idea.
I
Was
have no
never no
idea.
defensively, bro.
I have
I
no
don't
idea.
know,
Do
bro.
you know what your career high in assists was?
Probably like 3 or 4. I don't know,
No,
maybe 3
six,
He said,
assists
assists. Your career high assists, career high in
in the
assists was
whole
6.
season.
And, your career high, like yes,
Oh
in
yeah,
the whole
yeah,
your whole
yeah, yeah, yeah.
career,
Oh, you talking about like
your
for my whole?
career high for your
Yeah,
whole NBA
for a
career. Your
single
career
game.
high was 6 assists.
I want to be clear with y'all.
You got to pass the ball, Ant.
No, I don't. I shoot the
He
ball.
shoot the ball,
I'm
right?
not passing nothing.
My
Y'all
position is two guard.
gotta shoot me the ball for me to shoot.
But
But I
you know
love all
what your
the
career high is in rebounds?
probably like 5 or 4.
Why you doubting yourself, bro?
I don't
You got
know.
what was your career high? I'll give you one more. This is you. I'm looking at you right here. You
Maybe like
career high rebounds.
7,
Damn,
6.
bro. Your career high rebounds was 12.
See, bro, I don't know that. I'm just hoping. Can I hope?
You know this though. What's your career high in points?
Oh, I know. That's like
Yeah.
42.
I see you nailed
You
that
see
one,
what I'm
huh?
saying?
You nailed that
With
one,
the
right? You can't.
Come
buckets, the
on now.
buckets, the buckets.
My
And
man
that was when he
said,
was on the
fuck
Nets,
all
right?
the other stats. I don't care about that. I care about the
Fuck
point
all that
stats.
shit, man. You
I ain't mad
the
at you
point
though.
guard. You passed the ball, motherfucker. That's still you still
But yo, we was
bro.
talking about we gave our game one predictions. We know you know 3 years at OKC, so we know where the family ties lies. Who you got in game one? Game one. Who you got, OKC or Minnesota?
You know I'm biased, but I got OKC.
OKC. Okay.
I got
Right
it.
now, and
Biased.
I want you to tell this. You had an interesting story that you wanted to brought up to me about Ant Edwards. Tell us about that story about Ant Edwards.
That's my baby, man. I ain't gonna lie. I love him so much. His uncle used to cut my hair,
Mm,
and his uncle's um, wife was around. We was around Georgia Tech, just like around, just chilling, just
mm,
Atlanta stuff. And they called me and was like, "Can you please talk to him before he goes to Georgia? He's
mm,
gonna be one and I said, I know he's gonna be one
mm,
and done.
mm,
They told me, and I said, look, man, I'm gonna holler at him. And when I hollered at him, I was like, I said, bro, he did everything opposite,
mm,
but he did it the right way. You know what I
mm,
mean? Because he's a great kid. He's a great person. His
mm,
personality is great. He's just really from the roots of Atlanta.
mm,
So
mm,
you know that that's that kind of kid, and it's all good.
mm,
Stay down with that baby. You know what
mm,
I'm saying? He can call my phone after anything that happened. This is before Georgia and all that. I said, man, I love you, man.
mm.
Just don't do this, don't do that. And
Right.
you gonna get into some shit and get to that. But he ain't get into nothing dangerous.
Mm.
He is the face of the NBA.
We
Him
just
and
talked
Shea,
about that.
yes. Him and Shea Gildas Alexander.
Is
Is
he really the face though, or is he
he don't want to be
an
the
emerging
face. He
face?
don't want to be the face, but he is.
Mm-hmm.
He is, bro. You feel me? But I'm just like, you don't have to. If you don't want to be, you don't want to say you
Right.
want to be, then that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like Shay don't even say he want to be. Like
Right.
Shay, like SGA could be like Shay could be like, I want to be the face of it.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's taking that. You looking at things where you talking about these kids are walking in $150 million before they rookie deal.
Right.
Why would you want to take that on? It's
Mm-hmm.
not like Michael Jordan back in the day or uh, some people like Michael Jordan, like or um, Larry Bird or Dominique Wilkins. You're not walking into that no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not walking into that shit no more.
Mm-hmm.
So if I got 150 million with my rookie deal and other endorsements, I'm walking into basically $300 million.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Why would I need to act like I'm, you know what I'm saying? It meant something to Isaiah Thomas and Magic Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Nigga, this is not what that is now.
Right.
You
And I
gotta
think
make
Stephen A.
them want.
Smith, he said it the best when I watched First Take today. When he was like, there's a lot that comes with being the face of the league, right? So like you just
Yeah.
alluded to, you come in, you get the bag early.
Open it.
Like why would I want to be the face of the league when that comes with all this extra shit? I got the money, I'm chilling, I'm balling, I'm good. So there's a lot to it. Like me and bro was talking about, multiple like when Mike was in the league, he was undoubtedly the face international icon, champion, scoring titles, highlights. He was the face. Right now, it's like how when Kobe was coming on, many different faces of the league. Right now with Braun, when Braun came in, Braun was undoubtedly the face of the league. But then Curry came along and then it was like, oh, Curry was the face of the league at one point. So they was going back and forth. We can't forget about KD either. KD at one point was like, he was the guy. He was on the cover of 2K, like you the guy. So I think now it would be I can't put Anthony Edwards, the face of the league, over Shy because Shy about to get a MVP, right? So he got that one of the biggest awards in NBA on his trophy soon.